Evening guys, hope you're all having a great day. Thought I'd combine work and waffle today, so this clip's probably going to pop up somewhere towards the end of a video just showing a bit of what I did today. I've not edited it yet, so I don't actually know. With the business becoming a bit more kind of abstract at the moment, it's just me kind of sitting there at a computer. There's not much for me to film, but I do want to stay consistent with it and keep posting because I enjoy the process of making videos, and I guess in a way you guys are my plan B. It would be nice to, you know, have a fallback. I mean, I fully believe that the business will work, because to me failure is not an option. You know, failure at this point is worse than whatever amount of work it would take to make it succeed. I'd rather sit there and cold call for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and live off rice and beans than admit defeat with it, because I know that I have the skills that it takes to make it work. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop me. But all the same, you can't have too many fail-safes. So if I can keep posting consistently as well and grow a little audience, keep doing interesting stuff to post about, then it can never hurt. And there is stuff that I want to do in the future as well. I want to travel, I want to go to Europe in the motorhome, and I think it'd be fun to take you guys with me for that as well. If I buy a drone, I can get some nice scenic footage. Just come to my thinking swing in the park at the minute. It's a nice evening. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the commune that I said I wanted to start in the last video, because that's really what this is about. This is my end goal, and I think that humans are built for communal living in groups of less than 300. You know, if you look at how we evolved in these hunter-gatherer tribes, that's how it was, and it was a unit of people who all knew each other and were connected to each other in some way, who were working towards a shared goal. And I think that the fact that that's missing in society today, you know, people tend to group themselves together in these huge cities where it's impossible to know everybody, and it's too exhausting to even try, and so people just kind of walk around in their own little bubbles, not interacting with their fellow man, which I think is quite sad, and I think it's one of the biggest reasons why so many people are feeling alone and depressed and anxious. So what it's about really is returning to a more traditional way of living, you know, farming, living off the land, and forming those kind of tight-knit community bonds. Now, it's not for everybody, but to be honest, I think if everybody went there, everybody would ruin it. So I think, you know, in the society that we live in today, the types of people who would be interested in something like that are exactly the types of people who I would want there. Because to want to live in that way requires a certain free-spiritedness, a certain sense of openness, and, you know, a willingness to let people in to your world, because you have no choice then if you live in such a tight-knit group. So this idea that I have of partnering up with Connor and starting you know, essentially a place with no money, no form of government, just a kind of anarcho-communalist type thing, and allowing people the freedom to work towards their own dreams. That's my dream. Because, you know, a lot of people talk about change and revolution and all that kind of stuff, but the best type of change, it doesn't come through any form of violent uprising from the masses. It comes from gradual change from within. And a lot of these people that talk about how they wish to see this revolution and an overthrow of the current system, they're the last ones that would actually, you know, pick up a weapon and go fight. They just want somebody else to do all the dirty work for them. But any kind of dirty work is silly, really. You know, these people talk about how, oh, after the revolution, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. What's stopping you from doing it now? Nothing. So go do it. And really, that's what a lot of my life philosophy has been about these past 6 months or so. You know, I talked about how I wanted to be self-sustaining and kind of go back to living off the land. I can do that now. I have an allotment. I talked about how, you know, I think the future is more and more people starting small businesses again. It like, look back to the past, you know, in the 1910s in America, something like 90% of people were self-employed, whereas nowadays it's more like 10%. But I think that with the internet kind of linking everybody together again, mosquito on me. Yeah, I think with the internet linking everybody together again, we're going to see a resurgence of people who start their own businesses and, you know, try and work towards escaping from the system that we live under. Because I think that capitalism is, by its nature, exploitative. And debt is slavery. If you look at the amount of people who are in debt these days, it's crazy. You know, most people don't have the funds to survive like a £500 accident, right? You know, if somebody's car breaks down and it costs them £500 to repair, most people don't have that kind of money spare. They'd have to go into debt to pay that. And I think that's crazy, because you know, the second that you go into debt for anything, even a mortgage, right? People talk about how they own their home, but they've got a mortgage. All right, then, stop making your mortgage payments and see how long you own it for. You're never truly free. So, I don't want to be a slave. I want to escape. And I want to be able to sustain myself and the people that I care about. So that's what it's all about. Have a good night, guys.